Hello, the vanishing of Ethan Carter is indeed sad. But I'm gonna hit this up. We didn't play the Redux, we played the original one. The Redux supposedly fixes up the safe mode. No, we're not playing this in safe mode, Aurora. Fuck that. Oh. What features of this app? Allowed, enjoy the public network access. Yeah, it did use Unreal Engine at a time where Unreal Engine was ready to render stuff incredibly superbly. And in a way that was almost more real than life. But that's something you would hear in marketing for a while. But did the Unreal Engine at the time truly produce fucking impossibly perfect results when used well? And the vanishing of Ethan Carter here. It's like, oh, this is Mike's playing the boy version of Dear Esther, and I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Dear Esther's good too. I didn't play it. Didn't get to it. Didn't get to it. Mm. 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 Is Vanishing Dear Esther for boys? It might be. The Vanishing could be. The Vanishing. Now you see me. Now you also see me. That's right. It is a sad game, but not till the end. And you don't know how sad it was. And I come here because I had a spiritual journey on a local nature trail again. But more so to say this as divinely as possible, did the Auroran synchronization start to occur. All of nature was wrapped around me like a blanketed cocoon of love. And did I still make a mistake that I was unaware of? I happened to step on a frog without noticing it on my way out to the boardwalk over the swamp of this nature trail today. And then did I begin appreciating a frog that was almost perfectly camouflaged. Was it a leopard spotted frog? And they were like 2 inches, 3 inches wide, 4 inches long. They were big, and I loved them. And they were just chilling there right there with me as I'm like ready to start crying over the birds that keep hovering and circling over me. And chirping so divinely, as all there are bugs here that I've never appreciated so consciously before in my life that I had really felt like I had seen only just for the first time here, and they were as brilliant as anything, like dragonflies that fluttered like butterflies. And still, I had paid attention to this frog after it was that I had centered up in this little nature trail boardwalk over this swamp that has tall grass taller than me. You could just barely see over to see the birds dancing around. But after I had appreciated this frog, I had went back to where, to exit through where it was that I had entered originally. And I had seen that there was a little baby frog, much tinier than the one that I was appreciating. That was just so happily camouflaged, and I was loving them, appreciating their leopard spots, and thinking of them as highly as any of the birds that I was ready to cry over. But I see that this frog is lifeless. They don't jump away after I spot them. Oh, it must just be magically sitting there. No. No, it must have been that I stepped on this frog accidentally on my way out. And I was just saying to myself, after noticing the first frog, after I had already interacted unknowingly with this other one killing it, feeling like feeling like trash, even though I'm having like this messiah level nature event around me. I feel like trash. And it feels bizarre. The whole journey of me going out there was beautiful and happy and uplifting. But I would have found that I'd crushed this little infant of the Lord. And I think I try and separate myself from it at first. Like, oh, maybe it wasn't me. Maybe a bird dropped them, or it's like, nope. It seems to be like blunt force trauma, and that's like a very broken arm of theirs there, and it looks like they were stepped on. It's like, yep, it kind of does look like they were stepped on, doesn't it? It's like, yeah, it's like maybe. Well, it couldn't have been. And then it's like you found out it was you all along. And then you accept that forensically it had to be you, and you take ownership over it. I cover up the frog with a leaf. I'm very, very sorrowful over it. I can't get so sorrowful over it that the other magic that I was just experiencing surrounding me, I'm watching it as if God's hand is flickering the water of a puddle that it is that I'm walking by before, and I know it's a creature under the mud at the base of this puddle. But it is as if they are flickering the water above magically, making a plant growing through the middle of this puddle that look as if it is dancing, waving at me. There's too much magical stuff happening that of such uplifting, just amazing nature. I can't truly allow. I can't feel that bad about the frog that I most certainly am responsible for stepping on. I still feel bad anyways, and I try to feel as bad as I can. Is there then the largest frog, even bigger than the 3 by 4 inch frog that I had seen consciously first, before the one that I had interacted with, even before that one, that I had consciously observed second? And this one was like twice the size, and this little baby jumps right out in front of me in the grass as I'm still saying sorry about the frog to myself and anyone else who might hear me still. As I will be more careful. And then this frog springs up like 2 feet in the fucking air right in front of me. Same pattern, same spots. And then disappears into the opposite side of the grass. So as to let me know, thanks for looking out. Now, and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about the sequence. I'm thinking about how linear it might feel, because it's a very linear boardwalk, right? It's just like one way. You're not going anywhere else. It doesn't divert anywhere. It's a one-way boardwalk, and it goes pretty far on. I get cut off. It's flooded. It's flooded over. I can see a large expanse of boardwalk taking me even further into this magical place. And truly, and it's the smallest amount of flooding. It does stop me. I can't go further. I don't have the right shoes on if I stumble. I don't have to. It takes me like a minute or two to accept. Damn it! As stupid as this is, it's just enough problem to stop me from moving forward. Just the threshold enough. Just enough. And that is, in fact, what gets me to turn around and see what my sin was. And so now it feels even more Stanley Parable for me. It's like Stanley Parable -2 for those who follow. And I get here eventually home again, and I realize it's very vanishing. It's like it's very, very vanishing. It's super vanishing of Ethan Carter like. And I want to interpret the joy. I think I want to interpret the joy of this game. Is it a little haunted? Yeah. It's a little haunted. It's not spooky to think of too much other than what's going through a certain someone's mind when you should run through these sequences of events. And the delicate nature of what childlike wonder produces, even when it's in times and this childlike intellect would be going through negative, negative stuff. Um, and we're not going to think about
Carter, I didn't know.
the frog at the end.
When the police won't help
or the frog in the
and
middle.
priests don't believe
We'll think about the frog we saw in the beginning and the frog we see at the very, very end.
Me. If you're a kid like Ethan, you're right. Plenty do. Ethan's letter started out just like any other fan mail. But soon there were mentions of things no little boy should know about. There are places that exist that very few people can see. Ethan could have drawn a map. I hadn't entered Red Creek Valley yet, but already I could feel its darkness reaching out for me. Finding Ethan Carter wasn't going to be as easy as knocking on his door. I was too late for that. To find Ethan, I had to figure out what this place was trying to hide from me.
Paul Prospero is an imaginary character in a very real a serialization found in like a newspaper or a magazine that Ethan Carter reads. Ethan Carter is an aspiring writer. They're a child, but they're actually very good. And the idea is that this is either A, the suspension of disbelief being hosted in a way where Paul Prospero truly does exist as a real person, as if flipped open his own page of his own comic book strip and just sees the portal into Ethan Carter's world and warps into it, because this is exactly the kind of thing that brings folks like Paul Prospero, exactly the kind of mystery, exactly the kind of maybe even a crime to solve, right? But then there's another one, right? Outside of that, and that base level of suspension of disbelief, that's what you're being offered here in the story. That's what you're seeing. This is actually Ethan Carter's headcanon. How in their headcanon and in their fanfiction universe, essentially, how it is that a character like Paul Prospero can enter into their life to save them from something horrible. And this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It is one of the best, most realistic interpretations of a forest I have ever seen. And it's almost too perfect. But shame, I'm not playing it in the graphics that I would, let's just make sure everything's high. Right, advanced. Everything's enabled. It's just going to be a little bit. I think it's just the mic, the color, the lighting on my TV is off for some reason, so it makes it a little bit less perfect. But that's okay. We're going to deal with it. I know, just a little bit of immersion breaking. Don't worry. The immersion break is fun. I, myself, was just getting into ketamine. And so I would feel the suspension of disbelief, this hosting, quite directly and quite intricately postured to be as if it would be almost as if specifically for me. And I like being a little empath narcissist baby. I'm not the bad kind of narcissist, not usually. I'm the good kind that really does feel this thing. I felt it in video games, I have felt it in life, but I felt it in video games long before I ever felt it in life, and it creates this weird little storybook nookie where I can feel as if I might be some kind of main character at times. You feel? You feel? Good. I can't be the only one who feels this way from time to time. I think it must not. It's not just for me. It's a feeling that should be appreciated further. I think that people deserve to feel it. I think maybe it's okay to think as if the world was made just for you. Just as long as you remember that there's other people that might be feeling this. That's the two-way road.
Red Creek Valley seemed like a quiet, ordinary place. I've learned two things in my life. No place is truly quiet, and nowhere is really ordinary. Ethan warned me about that. Warned me not to be fooled by what I saw here. He didn't need to worry. I'd worked dozens of cases, hundreds. This would be the last one. Already I knew that.
I need it to be smoother. There's no mouse smoothing, so I need to do a better job arcing the camera around. A little frustrating, not gonna lie. I need mouse smoothing. I need mouse smoothing. Give me a moment. Interesting though. Yeah, it's in 1080. It should be running 60 frames. It's all good. Whatever. Whatever. Everything's got to be perfect, right? That's one of the problems when you're like me. You have a certain ideal of how perfect something needs to be. It's one of the things I'm working on. It's kind of a perfect in-between of perfection. Sometimes things get too canny, it starts to look uncanny. A certain level of perfect uncanniness that makes something seem and appear truly canny. You don't want it to be. Yeah. So, you have here a gate, right? It's almost like Shinto. Right, you're heading from one place, one world, into another. As if you get the whole view of the world that you're entering. Right from here. And it's, again, it's funny, they would talk... Folks, yeah... Oh god, it's like literally right where I was. It's like literally right where the fuck it was that I was. But not from this kind of view. More like I was from down below. And I would be able to see something this beautiful by looking up. That's essentially exactly the kind of bench spot. There was like a benchmark in my path today. And there was no bench. Yet there was no bench, and I thought, that's weird. So I stood there instead, and I found the froggy. Right here in the grass fronds, right here. The one that I had killed would have been more like right here. So I'm sorry, little froggy, but we're going back over here. It's so surreal. It's funny. It's just funny. It's funny how it is that in Stanley Parable, right, and the Davy Reedian, oh my god, sorry, Reedian? Davy Reed and William Pugh folks, right, would mention Firewatch before Vanishing of Ethan Carter. They'd make fun of Firewatch before they would make fun of Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I wonder if it was because either did they even know about Vanishing? They had to have. You would see games like The Witness, shitty puzzle games, honestly shitty puzzle games. And you would see things in The Witness, you would hope to enter into a game like The Witness, and hope to play something. What you really wanted to play was The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. If you played The Witness, it was stupid wood puzzle game, essentially. Just a little bit Myst, but not. You'd rather play Myst. Yet, Vanishing here has this autumnal vibe that is like in bloom. It's so fucking amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And truly, I'd never seen anything like this in a video game before. Until it was that this rig, on a GTX 770, and not the 1080 it's currently in it, was running it. Everything else, every component other than the solid state drive rather than hard disk that used to serve for its storage, everything else about it is exactly the same. This is the same machine, minus the 770, upgraded to a 1080, that was playing this game originally. The first time I had beheld it. And was it through this television? And this was a period 9 years ago. Maybe 10. And I remember taking mad rips right here. And so I got to do the same thing. In my life, it was kind of as if things were looking up for me. But it was sad too. I was with my girlfriend, but I think I was just getting out of the relationship with her. Was she breaking up with me after 9 months? But I had rolled in some friskier things that was technically cheating on my best friend. So, that. Definitely that. Not just technically either, but sometimes you see Zion a little bit too much. But thereafter, was it that there were actually, like, cute girls coming over to my home to smoke my weed? Girls and, like, right? Girl that I kind of know. Barely. Bring over girl that I don't know at all. To boot. Amazing. Absolutely fire. A little less than a year out of high school or so. Maybe a little more. And already with a job, a full-time job in an office, making enough money, and surrounded with quite a safety net. This was an amazing period of life for myself. Yet, this would not stop me from empathizing with stories like with this one here. But again, what I bring us here is not to see the wreckage, but the glory. Of Ethan Carter's prosperous life and their abundant imagination and the meaningfulness of what their wonder does in fact enable, regardless of what may have in fact happened to him, to enable this sequence of events. Paul Prospero walks through this sequence with a sense of duty. It's not just a kid, it's a fan. It's personal. It's very fucking personal. It's not just because you don't even know it's happened yet. But it's really not. It's not just that what they ultimately mean is just an escape for somebody. Paul Prospero is the culmination of a child's scream for help. Come true. And you don't necessarily know what dark angel it is that you actually inhabit here in the camera controller of Ethan Carter. But it's tremendous. And why is the enter button not? Oh, it's not the enter button. It's the left mouse click, idiot. Oh, that's a move. Doesn't turn on. And so you don't really know who you are yet in the beginning of the game. And I've created huge syntax as to what is happening, but I've given a little bit of guidance, but it's not going to complete the picture, and I'm making sure of that. just know that what you're doing here matters a lot. And, just like in any pixelated place, in life as well. It's troublesome how much it is that I can empathize with somebody like Ethan. You don't even know what happened to him. After all. Uh-oh. Whose boots are these? I guess they was new boot goofing. Woo! And they're crying all right. Is that Ethan? Is that him? It's like, no, it's just some guy. They're not who we're here for. Speaking of which, may I recommend Disturbed by Third Party? You should donate. You should donate to this show. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, you should donate to the show. Go to the Patreon. Go to the Patreon in the YouTube description. Ooh, okay. All right. Get. And so Paul Prospero's got kind of like a site, right? It's interesting though. It's not so much that Paul can see the exact happening. Of what actually occurred. Paul has, and I have this too. It's like, Sherlock Holmes is legended to have it, right? But deductive reasoning. An ability to render an interpretation of a full sequential line of events, to a huge amount, a huge degree of continuity and an intricacy in the tiny things universally that would occur that would lead up to a sequence. And you can world build just on a very tiny little sprinkling of information. And sometimes you have it completely wrong. But you have enough of the what's right that you keep kind of honing in more and more. But Paul Prospero's got this, and you have this ability to kind of see how it is that he puts together a sequence that might be occurring. But he's going to have things out of sequence and out of order. And when it is that he creates the correct interpretation from the very little that is surrounding him forensically, ultimately. There you have an awful lot, a whole corpse and some legs, yikes. Recent. As if you just got there right after it happened. Once it is that you interpret the correct line of events that makes sense to physical mundus and reality, in a way, is it that then you're enabled to move forward and see more, and then interpret the next equation. That's the game of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Much better than The Witness. And it is a puzzle game. And again, is it one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen? If there are games that I have to go to say what obviously carries something above, at least from a visual aesthetic, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter both takes realism and this portrayedness, right? Like everything is a perfectly framed piece of landscape art, not just made by somebody going for realism, but signature. And so just like Paul Prospero here, I kind of have this ability to mingle with the variances of greatness that occur in this piece. And I can almost accumulate different settings of how succulently sweet something so dastardly, deviantly sorrowful can be. And is there a giant mystery, obviously? It's here for the bloody mystery, I guess, maybe. That's certainly what would bring in most people. Need a crankshaft, potentially. Did we see anything else? Or is it just constant? It's just telling us to go to the rail car in this way. I think that's it. It's like, is there something else? So, we need the rail car. It's just so perfect. I know, baby. Alright. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just every place in this game. Every place in this game is magic. Every little, everything. There's this forensic idea of what you're supposed to be wondering about, right? What am I supposed to be wondering about in The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, right? Is the idea that they give you originally. Some kind of murder mystery or something, but you're here for Ethan. You're Paul Prospero. Oh yeah, it's perfect, sweetie. You're Paul Prospero. What is the place? Where is it? How is the place? What is it? Is it a dream world? Is it a place Ethan Carter actually lives? Did all of this really happen? Or is this more like some kind of fractal culmination? Some kind of fractal culmination, rather. Of all of these scenes that happened for Ethan Carter in his life, and all these wonderings and little, I'll say, excursions from his regular mundane life, however it looked. And we will see. Is this place that Paul Prospero finds themselves in, and this place that you and I see, is it based in a real place? Is this a part of America? Or is it only in a dream? Forensically, what can be deduced of this place? Is it Ethan Carter's creation? Is it a real joint? Or is it something else entirely? Is it heaven? Is it Tartarus? And it's so interesting to reason with this. The whole place exists in a dream. You don't happen to find too many happy things. But the excursions are amazing. It, as a game, once again, moving on from the meta here, has the same vibe and kind of like the same things that you were hoping to find when you purchased Myst, considering the album art. And this isn't when you purchased Myst the fourth or the fifth time. This is the first time you purchased Myst. Do you remember? You remember when you purchased Myst. You remember the feeling that cover on the front gave you, seeing how 3D generated it was. It was definitely computer generated imagery. And it looked very high end. What would you see in Myst? And somehow The Vanishing of Ethan Carter offers the same exact feeling. As if it is some kind of island outstretched in the clouds. Impossible. Yet, the puzzles that you will find in this game are seemingly mundane to some of the weird shit that you find in Myst. Honestly, is it still just a bunch of puzzles? Everything that you learn through the puzzles in this game teaches you something more about something very real that somebody really was going through. And I have yet to find another game that has produced this other. There is one. There is one. There's only one other game that I've found that produced this kind of element with puzzling. It's not a Valve game. It's Marquette. Matt Cat does it. Not as perfectly as The Vanishing of Ethan Carter here, but Matt Cat really does do it. It's using the It uses the puzzles as metaphors for what they're going through and how they're seeing the world around them and how tiny their perfect little the rose tint view is on things. And then you should find out how huge and dark and void the surrounding architecture truly is would be to it after you would miniaturize this happy little picture that you would have found in the beginning of it. And this one's more in a different direction. You're not quite scaling in the same way. You are trying to scale to the resonance of what someone was going through and who you are supposed to be to that. And again, we haven't even played Vanishing of Ethan Carter yet. We're just here on the little shore outskirts of it, taking in the view from afar. In the next episode, we'll actually play Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I promise. For now, leave yourselves to wonder some shit. Yeah, I have to look down. Alright, bye.